Hey, what's good guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we're taking a detailed look and review on these bad girls right here. This is the Air Jordan 5. Do I sound like I got it right here? I had some potato salad.
That was the grossest thing I've ever seen you do with your skin.
Oh, pull my skin out?
It's so gross.
Okay, let's restart that. That better not make it in the video.
That's the new intro.
Come on, man. You can't keep doing that to me. Hey, what's good guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we got a detailed look and breakdown on these bad girls right here. This is the women's Air Jordan 5 in Lucky Green. I just got to say that the overall craftsmanship of this particular pair that I have in my hands is ass. I don't think that this is going to be every pair, but I'm just saying that if I got a pair that looks this bad, then there's a good chance that there are others out there that do look that bad too. Like if I'm just looking at this left shoe right here, and I don't ever complain about this, but there's glue poking through between the rubber toe cap and the upper. Normally that doesn't bother me or anything because glue happens. Like they gotta adhere the shoe to the midsole and all that stuff, so some spillage is gonna happen. But what you don't ever want to see happen is that glue turning yellow already. That's bad. You know what I mean? That means that you're using some as products, and that's really crazy. So there's other things too where the polyurethane coat looks to be like it's almost delaminating away from the leather. That could be one of two things. It could be that it is actually delaminated, or that could just be I guess you would leave that intro in, but it could be a neck piece from a cow. The neck is some of the thinnest skin on a cow, and sometimes they have a lot of imperfections. So when we're talking about like premium cuts, clearly the neck is not one of them. So I don't know if that's an actual vein. It doesn't actually look like it. I've seen veins on sneakers before, like on uppers, and that's not it. So I would just guess that it's a polyurethane coat, or it's kind of delaminating, or it was just mangled during the manufacturing process and it looks like crap. Also, my toe box on the right shoe was mangled straight out the box. It looks a little bit better after I've unlaced them a little bit, but even then it looks like I've worn them, and I have not. I just tried them on and they look like this when I pulled them out of the box. So I guess you could say Jordan Brand is back to its old tricks, mass producing stuff, not really doing much quality control and just letting it go out to the market. But as far as the shoe is concerned, I think that the shoe itself is gorgeous. I love the Air Jordan 5. I really do hate what they're doing with it currently as far as the toe. I think that whoever decided to change this toe up to make it look like a different shoe,
cut it out. Get out of here.
The shoe itself takes inspiration from an original colorway, something that we used to call the Fire Reds. Now there's another Fire Red which does use the Fire Red color on the little teeth thing right here. But way back in the day, there were the Fire Reds with the black tongue. Sometimes they would call them the black tongues, and that's what these guys are. They do still feature the black tongue, which is awesome. And I know that a lot of people really want the Fire Reds to come back, and I do too. I'm right there with you. However, not with this toe. But again, the colorway itself, the color blocking, it's just gorgeous. You could do this with any color. Yellow, orange, purple, green, blue, whatever color, it would look sick like this, man. This is just a classic colorway, and I really like it. The outsole itself is very simple. You've got herringbone from top to bottom. Moving on up, we do have a polyurethane midsole. Inside of that midsole is a 4-foot encapsulated air sole unit, and then in the rear there is a visible air sole unit. This midsole feels kind of like springy for it being a dense polyurethane foam. So the comfort is just a little bit better than, say, some of the past retros that we've seen. I'm not gonna put it on the same level as, say, those SB Air Jordan 4s. Those were hella comfortable, but it feels similar. The insole, however, is a piece of shit. That's the thing that's like kind of irritating me with these women's releases, is that they're using great materials and all that stuff. They're kind of like elegant, elevated products, but then they skimp out clearly in certain areas. The insole is definitely one of them, and there's no reason why there shouldn't be, at the very least, a dream cell in there, or the fake dream cell, whatever it is that you want to call them. That should be in there. There should be no reason to put this cheap gray foam in there. It should not be happening. Now, as far as the upper is concerned, the materials are nice. So they're not premium cuts of leather or anything like that. They're still very thin cuts of leather, but the polyurethane coat on them is very thin, which makes the entire shoe like just super malleable when it's on your foot. It doesn't feel like a construction boot. And I think that it looks really nice. I think that might be the reason why some of these panels look as mangled as they do, just because during the manufacturing process, when you got materials this soft, and if they're trying to churn out thousands of pairs of these things quickly so that they can make the next retro, you're gonna have some ups in there. Unfortunately, they're all on my pair. Something that's interesting to note though is that they actually removed the clear netting on the sides and they changed it up with just straight up white rubber netting. I really like the way that this looks. I know that it would look even cooler if it was just done like the originals and stuff, but as far as a change up or a mix up, I don't mind this. I am curious to know if this is going to yellow just like the regular clear netting would. And if it does, that's where I don't know if it'll look as cool. I do think that the netting and the outsole, when they start to yellow together, they look great. It's kind of like a nice blend of everything. These being two different types of looking materials, it'll be a little bit weird looking probably. Like it'll probably just look dingy. The 23 is on the rear collar. That's a PE branding right there. That's something that was old school and something that MJ had on his pairs, and then the release pairs didn't typically have that, but they did start putting it on there for select releases, and people have just loved it ever since. Without that 23 on the back, a lot of people think that the shoe itself looks very plain. I don't agree, but that's what they think. And just in case you guys were curious, the tongue right here is reflective. It is done up in black, and I really do like it. I think that looks really clean and super classy. Although I will say that this tinted blue lace lock looks very weird. It looks like water. I've never seen them do this before. Maybe it's been done prior and I just didn't notice, but I don't recall that being a thing before. Now, as far as sizing is concerned, these are gonna be a women's launch, so make sure that you convert your men's size if you're interested in grabbing a pair of these. This is one of two options for most people. You can go true to size. You should be good to go. However, they will be a little bit roomy. They've changed the toe boxes enough, not just with the toe panel, but with the overall, like the shape and stuff, where they're a little boxy and a little roomy, in my opinion. So I personally went down half a size. It gives me a nice snug fit, not snug to the point to where they're unbearable or unwearable, but just snug enough to where they don't get stupidly creased and look very weird, you know what I mean? So I went down half a size. Outside of that though, most people would probably want to go true to size. Whatever you've been buying in your Jordan 5s recently, it's the same last, so that's what I would go with. But with all that being said, what's the question of the day?
This should be a good one for you.
Okay.
Okay.
Are we going back to the immortal thing?
No.
Can I compound on that real quick?
Oh, no, not today.
Oh, okay, fine. Maybe later.
Today, imagine you're in a room with like all 4-year-olds and they are going to repeat whatever you say.
That's not a good idea.
I know. So you stub your toe like horribly, or you drop a bowling ball on your foot. What are you yelling where it does not include swear words?
Then I'm not saying anything.
Oh, you're just gonna like keep it in and turn red and go,
Do you know me? Do you want me to start listing off that I would say?
No, you're not allowed to have swear words in it.
No, you cannot tell me that. Okay?
I just did. You are all about the parameters lately, and this is the parameters.
Lately, it's when you're giving me scenarios, I need to know the parameters.
I just gave you a scenario, and this is the parameters.
But that's a real scenario, and those are never my parameters. Getting me to not swear is like not a thing.
I know, so that's why I sat here and I thought, because I knew that you were gonna try and find loopholes, so I've covered them all.
Yeah, okay, so if you want me to fake the funk and say, if I stub my toe really hard, and I'm not gonna say what I would actually say, the only thing that I would say is, that's it. You know what I mean? But that's not what I would say. I would yell out, or son of a bitch, or me in the ass. You don't want 4-year-olds running around going, me in the ass. You know what I mean? Like, that would be a bad thing. And trust me, I've had 4-year-olds, and they've repeated what I said. And while it's funny, you don't like it. So yeah, and it's only funny because they got these squeaky little voices, and so hearing them say that kind of stuff is just hilarious, especially when they use it in context, like proper context. You're always like, oh, not only are you a parrot, but you're a genius. Anyways, with all that being said, sound off below and let us know your answer to today's question of the day. This should be a fun one. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys on the next one. So have a good one.